YouTube, what's going on, baby? It's your boy Ron Real, aka Double R, back in the building, back with another video, back with another damn banger. Here we got the fourth matchup of the Summer Showdown. Really excited about this one. Two cigars I love. Actually, what's funny is these are the two cigars that caused the cigar, or not the cigar madness, but the Summer Showdown sampler to be halted. These are the exact two cigars. Kind of funny that they're going against each other. We got the Crown Heads Lockharim going up against the Foundation Charter Oak Maduro. This is gonna be a good one here, y'all. Y'all hang tight, stay tuned, we're gonna get at it. All right, first up in this matchup of the Summer Showdown, we're gonna be smoking the Charter Oak by Foundation, which is the company that is owned by Nicholas Malilo, who used to work for Drew Estate over there with Steve Saka. Very good blender, very good guy, makes some really fantastic cigars. Him and Steve Saka both can get their hands on Connecticut Broadleaf, which has become kind of a hot commodity and not everybody's able to get their hands on them, but those two guys are always putting out a high quality product, including Connecticut Broadleaf. This is no exception. I'm very familiar with this cigar. We're gonna be smoking the Charter Oak Maduro in Toro, which is a 6x52 Vitola. It has a Connecticut Broadleaf wrapper and it has a binder and filler, both from Nicaragua. Very nice looking cigar, light pack on this one. Has a nice closed foot on it, as I could probably show you in some B-roll, or I don't know how well you can see it here, but nice closed foot. A very easily spotted double cap, but it's kind of sloppy. Tight, visible seams, not really toothy. Not really many veins present. A nice looking cigar. It's just very light in the hand. It's not a very hefty feel, but again, this thing retails for $5.49, around that $5.50, $6 price range. So again, this is gonna be a very price conscious, very solid budget, everyday smoking cigar. So with that being said, you already know it's time to just cut it up, light it, smoke it, and see what we got. Very nice cut on that too. Just took the cap off of it. Kind of a sweet tobacco is coming off of the body. On the cold draw, it's kind of mold, like kind of musty, kind of moldy, kind of tasting. Even though it's not mold on the cigar, but it has that kind of, you know, when you smell like a clothes or something that have been sitting in water for too long and they just have that musty, moldy kind of. It's kind of how this thing is tasting. A little bit of kind of grassy, a little bit too. So we'll see what we got after lighting it up. Hopefully it doesn't taste like that. Hope you guys have been enjoying the tournament. I definitely have. I've just been really enjoying getting back in the feel of having that tournament vibe, like from Cigar Madness. It seems like everybody's enjoying this tournament so far too. As you can tell, this is a lot more relaxed tournament. It's not as formal as Cigar Madness, but still having a lot of fun with it. A lot of great cigars. I'll be excited to see who's gonna win this tournament. As you guys see, the exposed or the closed foot, as I told you before, when you're lighting these, make sure it's away from you. You don't want any of that to fall on your, if you have a nice shirt on or some nice pants. I think we got us a pretty good light. Nice pepper hit on it. Say it's a nice black pepper, a very prominent wood note. Yeah, wood and peppers and a little bit of earth, but the wood and peppers definitely what's dominant right now. We'll let this first third get heated up, come back, give you flavor, body strength, you know, all that good stuff. So y'all hang tight and stay tuned. All right, so we're working our way through this first third. A lot of really nice flavors are starting to pop out. Black pepper has died down some, starting to get a little bit of a cocoa note. A very nice leather note has started to become in there. Very nice finish on this too. Not super long, good medium finish, but the cocoa, the leather, black pepper is all combining in. Still getting a little bit of earth too. Very nice flavor profile, especially for the price point. Again, just kind of trying to reiterate that even though sometimes I do smoke a lot of more expensive cigars, or I review a lot more expensive cigars, there are still very good options with that sub $10 price point that are really, really good. This is so far performing perfectly. Great draw, And again, I would say this, like I've said about a numerous amount of cigars that are showcased in this tournament, I think this is a very good option for a daily cigar. Another cigar that you don't have to pay too much attention to, but this is something if you're doing stuff around the house or you kind of are just smoking a cigar and don't really want to focus too much or think too hard about smoking a good cigar. This is another prime example of that. Been very pleased with this one. Not a bad gritty taste or anything. This is just well fermented, well aged, really well blended tobacco. Nicholas Melillo is just a master when it comes to blending. With me having blending goals, I look forward and can't wait to kind of build up a nice portfolio like him, Steve Saka, Rainier Lorenzo, Dion Giolito. There's quite a few guys that just do a phenomenal job at blending cigars. This is a very good example of that. Also, what I like about this too, what I like about a lot of companies, even though they'll have cigars like the Tabernacle, speaking of Nick Melillo, for example, he has the Tabernacle, the Menelik, there's a couple other things he offers, the Highclere Castle, that they definitely easily go above that $10 price point, but then he's still able to come back and get you with a $5 or $6 cigar that smokes just as good. Some companies that, I'm not gonna mention any names, but they just focus on super premium cigars at super premium prices. That's another big reason why I like Padron as well too. They have their super premium cigars, super premium prices, but they also have the 1000 series, so they're able to touch the everyday blue collar guy that still wants to smoke a Padron cigar. Same thing with Fuente too. He has the Opus X where you have the Purple Rains, BBMFs, all these over $100 cigars, but then you have the Short Story, the Hemingways, all these kind of cigars that reach under the sub $10 price point that everybody can smoke. So gotta give Nick Melillo credit for that. Very good offering. Very easy to regulate the smoke. Very, very good flavors on this nice finish. This as long as this stays with the performance wise like this will score very, very well. So we'll keep on smoking, get through this second, third, come back. Oh, before I forget, of course, everything is still a textbook medium for me right now. Strength, not really any. I'd say textbook medium, on that light side of medium. Body is nice. Body and flavor is still around that nice medium mark too. Not crazy intense, just very well balanced, very even keeled. So with that being said, now I'll keep on smoking through the second, third, come back and give you any updates. So y'all hang tight and stay tuned. All right, so we're making our way through this second, third. Black pepper and the leather is still there, but just kind of shifted back to it's more so in the background now. More on that finish. Actually, the leather is kind of drying my palate out a little bit, but still not bad. The cocoa is still there, and actually a nice brown sugar has picked up in this second, third too. Again, I'm just gonna say it, this is a very good tasting cigar, especially for the price point. I'm not surprised, but again, it's just like a sub $6 cigar, man, and it just tastes, this is a very good cigar. Like, I think you can get boxes of 20 of these for around $100, under $100. A no-brainer for me. This is a nice daily smoker. Has enough sweetness in there that I like. The brown sugar and the cocoa is kind of helping carry the cigar a little bit. I feel like if it wasn't involved and I was just getting the black pepper and leather, it'd be cool, but the cocoa and the brown sugar sweetness is kind of, the natural sweetness of that is kind of helping with that leather and that black pepper. Really nice taste on this one. Construction's been phenomenal. No relights or touch-ups. I can even still taste the cocoa on that finish. Really nice with that black pepper. Draw has been perfect on this one too. Still saying medium on it, or I'd actually say, you know what, low side of medium to full on flavor and body. They've definitely ticked up a little bit more intensity, which I'm a huge fan of. As far as the strength, I'm gonna say medium. No nicotine hit on this one. For me, this is all flavor. Not just super complex, but you're getting different flavors, which is keeping me interested. But again, not the most complex blend out there, but this is a very serviceable cigar. And again, for $6 or under $6, you can't really ask for too much more. So we'll keep on smoking through this second, third, get through this last third, come back with some points and see what we got. So y'all hang tight and stay tuned. All right, so we're finishing up with this Foundation Charter Oak Maduro. Very good. Nothing else really to be said about this. It hits all the boxes. Great price point, flavor, construction, enough complexity, just a good cigar. So for flavor, I gave it a 16 out of 20. Good flavors on it. Not the most intense flavor wise, but enough, plenty of flavor for the most seasoned palate or somebody that's been only smoking for a year. Gave the draw a 20 out of 20, the burn a 20 out of 20, complexity a 16 out of 20, and the strength a 16 out of 20. Gonna give this cigar an overall score of an 88 out of 100. Very good performance by this cigar. Nick Melillo did his thing with this. Great, budget friendly, everyday good cigar. That's all I can say about it. Very good. I've been able to enjoy the cigar in its full entirety. No relights or touch-ups, nothing that's altering the experience. So with that being said, we're gonna jump over to this Crown Heads Lockharim, see if it can take down this cigar, but I'm telling you now it's gonna be a dogfight because this cigar performed great. I'm gonna keep smoking this. Smoke is staying nice and cool. Flavors are still there, so I'll imagine I'll nub this out before I take a break and decide to smoke this Lockharim. So y'all hang tight, stay tuned, we'll get into this Lockharim. All right, so next up, we're gonna be smoking this Crown Heads Lockharim. Huge fan of this cigar, it's on record. Everybody knows I love this cigar, but again, very, very tough matchup for this cigar. The Foundation Charter Oak Maduro did a hell of a job, so this should be a very tough match. Now, the size that I'm smoking is a 5 7/8 by 52 ring gauge. It has a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Ecuadorian Sumatra binder, and fillers from Nicaragua. Very good cigar. Again, like the Charter Oak Maduro, these cigars are very hard to find because of the Maduro wrapper is such a shortage of them right now that a lot of cigars that have broadleaf or other Maduro variation wrappers have become back ordered and just hard to fill the orders just because of the shortage of the leaf. So now we will get into this cigar, cut it up, light it, smoke it, see if it can take down this Charter Oak Maduro. Now this cigar has tight and visible seams, has some tooth present to it as well. It's got some veins, but nothing that detracts from it. This is a very rustic looking cigar, but it has such a very nice, clean band. I've always been a fan of this Lockharim band. I remember when it first came out and I smoked the cigar. This was one of the first cigars that when my palate was starting to finally get a little developed where I was really starting to hone in and able to pick up on sweetness, but able to not just know that it was sweet, but know what the sweetness was. This was one of the first cigars that did it for me. So without further ado, we will cut it and see what it has to offer. Just a little snip there. Very, very musty, funky on the body. Cold draw is bringing on like chocolates and raisin. A little bit of a spice on there too. So chocolate, raisin, a little spice on that cold draw. It's got a little resistance, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem once this gets lit up. Can already taste that earth on it already. All right, I think we're good. Getting a little black pepper, red chili spice. There's a nice wood note on it, like an oak wood. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up so far. Very nice start on this. It tastes very well balanced and refined already. All right, so we'll let this thing get heated up. We'll come back, give you body flavor, strength, you know, all that good stuff. So y'all hang tight, stay tuned. All right, so we're working our way through this first third. That black pepper, red chili spice that was in the initial draw or the initial light up has gone away now. Definitely calmed down, making way for a nice black coffee base, getting a nice dark chocolate, and some cream has just started coming in here too. Very enjoyable profile. It's already medium to full on body and flavor. Strength is right around a medium. Very enjoyable. This has been really, really good. If the cream stays where it's at or intensifies with the rest of the flavors, there's also even like a toasty nut quality to it, like that almond flavor I like to pick up. I'm starting to get that on the finish now too. Just very clean, very refined, very nice and full, easy to point out flavors. This is a very good cigar. So construction, as you see, burn lines razor sharp, draw has been fluent. Just as I expect Crown Heads construction to be all the time. This is right on par with how they do it. EP Carrillo does a very good job with his blends, with his construction. John's, they knock it out of the park all the time. So we're gonna keep on smoking through this first third, get all the way through this second third, see if anything changes. So y'all hang tight and stay tuned. All right, so we're working our way through this second third. Phenomenal performance so far. The black pepper has kind of calmed down even more. The cigar has just smoothed out even more. You're getting still that cocoa. The cream is intensified and a little bit of earth has picked up in it too. It's a very good tasting cigar. Nice, clean, long finish. That the finish lasts all the way into your next draw. Performance on it, burn line, draw have been phenomenal on this. Excellent. I can even just steal the cocoa, and that cream is just really good. It's just crazy. I think when they made when they were coming up with the blend, they were intending on it to taste like a chocolate souffle or be dessert-like. And so, especially in the traditional cigars when they're not infused or don't have sweetened caps, I'm just always really impressed. And I think, you know, when I look at cigars like this, the idea of becoming a master blender or a blender entices me or excites me even more, to be able to just take different leaves and lay them around certain ways and have them, you know, create certain flavor profiles or just certain flavor intensity or strength. And so I'm just completely, you know, starstruck almost just by how blending works. And this is one of the cigars that I just look at, I'm just like, that's just crazy how you blend leaves and make them taste like this. The creaminess and that cocoa is really good. The earth is helping accentuate the other flavors too. You're still getting a little bit of black pepper, just not as intense as it was in the first third, which for right now it's not bothering me at all. Still would say this is easily a medium to full on body and flavor. Still no real strength. I would say textbook medium on that as well too. So with that being said, we'll keep on smoking through the second third, get through this last third, come back, give you some points, let you know who won this matchup, so y'all hang tight. All right, so we're getting out or making our way through this final third. Still been very enjoyable. The cocoa's still there, dying off a little bit. I'd say the last third is pretty much controlled mostly by that black pepper, and earth is kind of coming in. Still very enjoyable at this point. Smoke is staying cool. Flavors are still nice. I know I'm gonna nub this out just like I nubbed out the Foundation Charter Oak Maduro. I will tell you, this is the last match of the first round, or the last matchup of the first round of the tournament, and this has been by far the hardest one to score. Both cigars performed phenomenally, enjoyed both of them thoroughly. But with that being said, somebody has to move on, somebody has to go home, so I will go ahead and give you the points. For flavor, I gave it a 17 out of 20. The draw, I gave a 20 out of 20. The burn, I gave a 20 out of 20. Complexity, I gave a 16 out of 20. And the strength, I gave a 16 out of 20. It's gonna give this cigar overall score of an 89 out of 100. Felt like this was a very tough matchup. The only slight edge I would give this over the Charter Oak Maduro is just I enjoyed the flavors just a little bit more, just the intensity of that cream in that final third and kind of hanging around in that first part of that last third was a little bit of the difference. Both of them were about the same strength-wise. Really, both of these cigars aren't really complexity monsters. They have some different flavors, but they're not shifting all the time like some cigars you'll run across, but both are very, very high performers. Now, even though I preferred the Lockharim in this round, I will say I recommend highly both of these cigars, and of course budget is going to be something that a lot of people look for or look into as well. I forgot to mention it, but this Lockharim in this size retails for right under $9, which still isn't bad, but when you're comparing it to the Charter Oak, that's a $3 difference pretty much. So some people, even though they might like the Lockharim more, they might prefer the Charter Oak just because of the budget. So with that being said, man, both are winners. I feel like both of these are box worthy. It's just a shame that with them both being Maduro wrappers, they're kind of harder to find now, becoming much more frequent as far as being back ordered. So thoroughly enjoy both of these. But thank you guys again for tuning in to the first round of Summer Showdown. Can't even talk right now, and it's not even a cigar. But thank you guys for tuning in to the first round of Summer Showdown. Looking forward to getting to this Final Four championship round, see who takes home the crown of the first ever Summer Showdown. Very enjoyable cigars. I don't think there's been any duds in the first round. All 8 of these cigars, in my opinion, are daily smokers or things that I smoke frequently. These are all very good cigars. But with that being said, you know the name of the game is relaxation and enjoyment. And don't forget to be driven, never motivated. We're gonna catch y'all in the Final Four.